Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jimmy and this is Patriots Glow. And in today's video, I am going to go ahead and go over 3 easy woodworking projects for you guys to do for this 4th of July. Okay, so a couple of these projects can go ahead and be done with scrap wood that you have around here with 2x4s or 4x4s. So one of the things I am going to go ahead and show you though is one of these bottle cap openers and kind of how you go ahead and put these together and how easy these can actually be. So what you're going to actually need to start off with these are 1x2s. Now you can pick up any 1x2x8 from any of your big box stores. So that's what I would recommend you going ahead and doing. You can pick one of those up for a couple of dollars. Now, from previous projects, I have 3 already separated into smaller pieces already. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 3 of these 12 inches long. So let's get those cut. Okay, now that we got our 3 pieces cut down to size, we're going to go ahead and come over here. You can go straight to painting, but I am going to go ahead and put a burnt look on this real quick to show you what this looks like. So let me go ahead and burn these real quick. All right, so quick and easy, burned up real nice. And we're going to put these in the pattern that we want these in. Okay, so this is real easy. Whatever stencils you're using for this, you're going to go ahead and try to put it at the top, and then you're going to block that off with masking tape, and you're going to go ahead and start painting that top blue or whatever color you actually decide that you want it to be. From there, all I'm going to end up doing is laying that stencil back on there, making sure that that stays flat. And then I'm going to go ahead and come back over and paint it white. So now you are left with the top decorated, and all you have to decide is what you want your 3 bottom pieces to look like, whether you want it to be red, white, and blue, or red, white, red, red, the burned look, red. It all depends on what your personal style is or how you actually want to make these. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is decide on a couple of different things. I go to mark the center off and I decide against it. I want to go ahead and mark it red, the burnt look, and then red again. So I'll go ahead and mark off the left side and the right side, and then I'll go ahead and paint those both red. Now this is going to bring us to putting the 3 pieces actually together, and there's going to be a couple of different ways that you can do this. You can either just use wood glue and you can glue all of these up, use clamps, and then clamp these all together. Majority of the time, all of these will hold together, but I would recommend, if you do have a nail gun, to go ahead and nail these together. And I will actually show you that process of putting glue on these, putting these together, and then nailing them together as well. Make sure that you nail them in the orientation that I'm nailing them in, so that your nails don't go sideways and go actually through your boards and mess everything up. Okay, now that's going to go ahead and bring us to putting a way to hang this on the wall. You can go ahead and put in regular key slots if you'd like to. I like to go ahead and add the hardware. It saves you a couple of cents if you just go ahead and add it on yourself, but I want to save the work. And I go ahead and measure the center there and add this key slot hardware. Makes it simple, easy, and effective. Just go ahead and throw that on there. And then once that's on there, go ahead and flip it over, and you're going to go ahead and add your bottle cap opener hardware, and you'll just center it up and put it further up. Now you might want to make this bottle cap opener a little bit longer or a little bit shorter depending on how big of a stencil you end up using. I probably could have made this bottle cap opener a little bit longer, but it'll work out for what we're doing with it. All right, so that brings us into project number 2. And this can be done with any type of wood. This can be scrap wood that you have laying around the shop, 2x4, 4x4s, or even pallet wood that you have. 2x4s from the pallet wood will also work for this project. Now, I am going to go ahead and show you how to go ahead and doctor this up real quick and make something out of nothing. Okay, so all we're showing here is that only one side actually has to be flat and level. You can level them both out, but it doesn't actually matter. So I end up coming over here and grabbing a drill bit and drilling a hole out. Now, I would tell you a drill bit size, but it depends on the type of yarn or twine that you actually end up getting, and you'll understand that later on when you see what we're actually going to do here. So you're going to go ahead and find the center of that board roughly and just drill a hole out, let's say a couple of inches deep, nothing too hard. Just go ahead and drill that a couple of inches deep and you'll be good. Now, I had taped up a pretty thick center here while I was doing this, but I went ahead and changed my mind halfway through, and I just taped up halfway, went ahead and spray painted half of it blue and half of it red. I guess halfway through my project, sometimes I have I don't know, a writer's block or maybe creative differences between myself, and I'll just change it midway. All right, and once we go ahead and get both sides painted all the way red and blue, we're going to go ahead and let that dry a little bit, and we're going to come through with our stencils again, lay everything out, lay everything flat, and we're just going to go ahead and paint stars on one side. Okay, look, I don't know what happened. We must have time warped or something. I promise I painted stars on the other side of that block of wood. There are stars on both sides. I didn't put them on the edges, but I did put them on both sides. Now I do have rope here, some twine, and I try to go ahead and stick it in there the first time and realize that that hole is not actually big enough. So I grab a bigger drill bit and I come back and drill that out a little bit more. Me drilling that out happened off camera, but we ended up struggling with the glue bottle a little bit and couldn't actually get the glue. Could not actually get the smaller squeeze part out, so we went ahead and had to pour some straight into here. Just ended up using some super glue with a little bit of activator in it and put that twine into there and fed it in, twisted it so that it went into there pretty good. After I cut the extra length off right here, I go ahead and come through with that blowtorch, and I go ahead and torch the end of this as well to give it a little bit of a crispy look to it. All right, so there you go. 2 really easy woodworking projects that you guys can do at home before the 4th of July. I want to let you know of one more easy project that you can do. And this one I think can be interchangeable throughout the seasons. But for this 4th of July, it will be easy to do an explanation of something similar to this with the stars or doing different stripes. And I will put a few different pictures on here that you can replicate, make them look different with a 4x4 on that. But instead of making the Firecracker, which you can make the 4x4s into these Firecrackers that you see, which sell in a set, you can make this into just a decorative pole that someone can put out down their driveway, out at their devil strip or their curb for decoration. And there are a couple of things that you can pick up off of Amazon. I'll have everything in the description box below. You can get these, which these are pieces of rebar with little metal holders here, where you'll put your 4x4 in and it attaches to this. This will drive into the ground, and this will hold your 4x4, and this is how you actually present your 4x4 out in the ground, but you can have it decorated like that for 4th of July, Christmas, Easter. It doesn't matter. These can be decorated however you actually want them, so you don't just have to sell these just for the 4th of July, but you can do different sets at different parts of the year, or an entire array of different sets sold as a bulk set. So this is actually a set of 4, which I'm really surprised. I thought it was a set of 2 when I purchased it, because a lot of them were, but this was a set of 4. So a really, really good deal, I think, on these. And I will link that down in the description box below. And I would also pair that with maybe a light that can go on top of that 4x4 as well, to also give it a little bit extra oomph. So you can have all of this decoration on this pole going all the way up, and I would do it about 4 feet tall, 3-4 feet tall, something along those lines. And I think those would sell really well. I could imagine anywhere from $50 to $100. I really think mid-range $75 to $100 for something like that. So I think that would be really cool. I think closer to the $100 range, especially if you sell a light attachment. You're able to drive those into the ground and display those on the street, up by your porch, anywhere they want to put that. If you guys liked what you've seen in tonight's video, please do me a favor and hit the like, subscribe, and share this with family and friends, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.